What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Reverend Glass, also known as the Big Asu Chia. And the purpose of this video, I want to try to get it out as fast as possible because, end of the day, it's a beautiful Sunday. First off, let me just thank y'all for coming to my channel. Thank you for coming out. Just looking for a couple subscribers. So if it's two people, and just hit that like button and the subscribe button, that's good enough for me. All I need is two people. Two people meet in agreement. God is in the midst of it. So when I was younger, when I was in middle school, high school, if you was to see me then and you were to look at me now, I look like two different people. Okay. If I were to, sorry, I just needed to adjust the camera. But if you were to look at me in my high school years and then look at me in my college years and then look at me today, I am a completely different person from each decade. If you looked at me when I was 10 and what I wore when I was 10 years old, school uniforms, navy blue and white and cream, every day, pretty much in the same blue jeans all the time, in Levi's shirts. If you could look at me then, and then you look at me at the age of 5 years later, just at 15, and how I just wore nothing but like dressed down, flannel with the khakis and the jackets that I used to wear. I wasn't a Jordan fan so much, but I was a Nike fan. So I had Nikes on. My pants was sagging. My shoes were looking bummy. I'm gonna be honest. I was not the most attractive looking 15-year-old kid, but at the same time, like if you used to look at me in high school, okay, take that to the next level. You see what I'm saying? Like, just take it to the next level. I still sat my pants. I still wore, the not so much the flannel now. But I still kind of wore it then too. I had my own personal style. I had t-shirts all the time. I wore different things, but the biggest one was hat to the back. No matter what it was always the hat to the back with the sagging pants. That's all I ever wore, was a hat to the back with a sagging pants. So if you was to see me, I would have sometimes wave cap on, hat to the back or to the side, and then I would have my my pants sagging with t-shirts and whatever else on. And then on top of that, I went through my grunge phase, and then at that point, I went through my goth phase. Okay, so if you was to see me in high school, you would know that I went through a lot of different phases before I kind of got to the snapbacks with the sagging pants and the different colored t-shirts. That's just the way I was. If you met me then, you would see that I wore all black all the time. If I wasn't wearing all black, I was wearing black and blue all the time, every single day, all day long. That's all you saw me in up until probably my late college years. Okay, so if you was to see me during those years, those first years, of adulthood, you would thought I was a kid because I dressed like a kid. You see what I'm saying? But then, somewhere between 25 and 30, I started putting up my pants more. I started wearing belts the right way. I started wanting to dress a little bit more professional and wanting to put on different things to correlate the culture that I wanted to represent within myself. And I say all of this not to make myself sound better than or to, push the envelope, but because church folks, we are supposed to spread the gospel to the youth. Get over the fact that these boys sag their pants. Okay? Let's start with just having a conversation with them. How about not even making that an issue? Like, sagging your pants is the least of the issues in the community. Okay? Sagging the pants does not define what type of person you're going to grow up to be. Okay? I hate to tell you that because some of you old school folk still believe that that's going to represent how much and what have you. Now, don't get me wrong. I hear myself saying the old school thing of why won't he pull up his pants? But at the same time, I didn't pull up my pants when I was his age. So I can't talk about it. I can't talk bad about him because at 15, I wasn't pulling up my pants. But you know what? Even though I just sat my pants at 15, I had Deacon Frank Robinson, I had Deacon Fleming, I had all the deacons telling me, pull up your pants. And I pulled up my pants. Okay? They just kept asking me, pull up your pants. They didn't never look down on me. They never said, he has no home training. I'm sure he thought about that in his brain, but he never said, hey, what's wrong with you? You ain't no good. You're lazy. You're not going to amount to nothing. This is the type of environment or the type of person you're going to become. He didn't say any of those things. The deacons of my church, the preachers of my church, let me fall through that phase, but just remain telling me what the right way to do it was. And that was just to pull up my pants. Okay? Like, pull them up. That's all you got to say. Pull up your pants. If you feel some type of way about it, most people will go ahead and say, okay. And if he won't pull up his pants, well, then that's fine. But still, meet these young people where they at. I'm talking about with the gospel. Because the Prosperity Church, they don't care whether he comes with his pants up or not. They just hope he come in just to be another number. But if you're going to start spreading the gospel to these young people, I just want to say we have to be a little bit more careful about how we treat people. You see what I'm saying? Like the church needs to be a little bit more diligent in what we do to respect the young people, because once they're gone, they're gone. Okay? And this is beyond just, hey, Christ loves the ungodly. Okay, yes, Christ died for the ungodly. Yet while we were without sin, Christ died for the ungodly. So if Christ died for the ungodly, why are we treating our youth as if they're ungodly? Okay? I was baptized at 7 years old. A lot of them deacons saw me get baptized and helped baptize me. So why wouldn't they be willing to help me know how to do it the right way? And you know what? When I got to the age of 25, I pulled up my pants. And I put a belt on. And I got a job. And I started doing some things. And some guys, they may get that job that makes them, but some jobs they may not. Let's not make cultural dressing be the reason why we're not spreading the gospel, or we're looking our proverbial nose down at some young person who really does need a little bit of guidance and possibly a little bit of love too. So this is not me giving the holy-toly, Christian conversation, what have you, to make myself sound better than you. No, I just want to know, if you want, you can leave in a comment section why you think that this is the biggest deal. To me, this is not a big deal. Sagging your pants is not a reason why you shouldn't spread the gospel to somebody and why you shouldn't be kind to some young person. And again, if you feel some type of way about it, ask the kid to pull up his pants. If he doesn't, well then, you see what type of person you're dealing with. Love him anyway. Treat him good anyway. Be kind to him. Remind him every day to pull up his pants. Okay? It's the same thing as tying your shoe. Remind a person to tie their shoes. There's a lot of people that walk around with their shoes untied. Does that make them a bad person? No. Does that make them idiotic? No. That just means they didn't tie their shoe. Just that simple. Don't make this a salvation issue. Sagging your pants is not a salvation issue. Okay? It is not a salvation issue. Now, I'm mad that this has to go 10 minutes, but it is not a salvation issue. It is not a sin issue. Okay? Sagging your pants is the least of your worries. So stop with the whole conversation of sagging pants. That is not a representation of the gospel or the church. Look at something more important. How are they being treated? How are you treating them? And more importantly, are you bringing the gospel to them? Telling them of Jesus, teaching them how to be good ministers and good men and good young men in Christ. Because if you're not doing that, then I don't care how much you pull up your pants, you're no better than what you think they are. Just that simple. You can think in your mind, you can think in your heart that you're better. You can feel that you might be better, but I'm here to tell you, you're not better than they are. You're worse. Because you know what? That guy with the sagging pants probably can preach the gospel better than you can. That kid with the sagging pants probably knows Christ already and loves him with his whole heart. He just sags his pants. Just that simple. You got to be careful about what label you put to somebody. Because I just read a post where a man said that, well, you already know what type of lifestyle he's going to live. You already know what type of person he is. Well, probably be the first person to scream out, the question of, who are you to judge me when he goes and does his wrong? See, it's always easy to talk about somebody else when, no one's looking in your closet. It's always easy to do that. Everybody can do that. I can talk about what people shouldn't do when people ain't looking in my closet. But man, when you have to actually look at somebody got to look in your life and then start pulling out your file and start reading